For a large part of January, there were a lot of Spurs fans who were feeling really restless. Nothing was coming through the door up until deadline day, where we saw not one but two players coming from Juventus. Let's talk about Rodrigo Bentancur. He came off the bench against Brighton and Southampton. We just saw a tiny bit of him there. Enough to be impressed by, Jamie?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I've been really impressed with him. He looks like he's got the physicality to play in the Premier League. He's good on the ball. He's confident. And what I like about it was when we were struggling, he was the one who was like, give me the ball, you know, looking for it. He wasn't hiding behind players. And I think he's going to be a top player for us. Look, you've got to be a top player already to be playing at Juventus. And, you know, I think he's a very talented player. And I think Spurs have got a good signing there. And I was surprised he didn't start against Southampton, to be honest with you. But he starts today. I think that's a really good decision from the manager. And hopefully he can hit the ground running with a top performance.
Yeah, he starts today, Martin. What do you think he brings to this Tottenham Hotspur side?
I think just exactly what Jamie has said. There's not much more to add, really. He's covered it all. And he's been a really nice, a very, very fine footballer. I think he's a fine footballer. He's an Uruguayan player, you know, has played international football. So he shouldn't really be fazed by all of these things. It doesn't mean he won't be excited and he won't be anxious and he'll obviously want to try and do well. And but over time, I absolutely agree with Jamie. I think he should be a really fine player for them.
As a manager, Martin, how difficult is it to integrate a player that you've acquired during the January transfer window when everything's so busy, all the fixtures are piling up?
Well, that's a very good point, Michelle, you make. Very good. It is difficult. You know the capabilities, otherwise you wouldn't sign these players, or so you would think anyway. Sometimes managers are presented with players that they possibly haven't seen before, never mind know much about. But I don't think that's the case here at Tottenham Hotspur. This boy is a well-known player. But it is a difficult one to set someone straight in there. You're desperate for results. I suppose you could say that every single week, but particularly then in the transfer window, you're wanting someone to settle in almost immediately, maybe 2 or 3 training sessions, trying to get to know the rest of your teammates so quickly. So it's a really bedding in purpose there, but a difficult one for the manager, particularly if you're signing 2 or 3 players at the one time and wanting to make those changes in the team. Now, if you are like Tottenham Hotspur, where, for instance, in the wing-back position, where he's got Doherty at 1 week, then he has got Emerson Royal in the next week, and none of the two of them are actually doing all that well for you, then you're actually going and almost spinning a coin up to see who's going to play in that wing-back position, because both have big deficiencies in their game. So during that, that's another problem. You know, when you're exchanging one for the other week after week, that's not a brilliant sign.
But the thing is, Jamie, as well, neither of the two wing-backs that Martin mentioned, whether it Doherty or whether it Emerson Royal, is really putting in a case that they deserve to be in the starting 11?
No, absolutely not. I mean, I think both of them have been really poor this season. And I'm surprised that we didn't try and really get another one in. I think Bentancur has been a good signing. I know we signed the winger as well from Juve. He hasn't kind of been given a proper chance yet. But I think the main area where we actually did need to improve was the wing-back position. Now, for whatever reason, it didn't happen. And we're kind of almost stuck having to, you know, kind of gamble, as Martin says. And it is a toss of a coin between the pair of them. I don't think either of them have given really anything to say that they deserve to start in the side, but you have to play one of them. I'm really surprised at Conte, though, that he hasn't tried something different, maybe playing Lucas Moura there. Because I remember when he was at Chelsea and they won the league, he turned Victor Moses, who was a right winger, he turned him into a right wing back. So I'm really surprised that he hasn't tried that. No, because I think Lucas Moura could play there. And then you can play Steven Bergwijn as the right winger and them two kind of play off each other. But he hasn't done that. And if I'm honest, it's speaking to Chelsea fans of what they used to remember Antonio Conte's side like. His formation was a very attacking 3-4-3. This Spurs side, I think, is quite a defensive 3-4-3. It's almost like playing 5 at the back and 2 holding midfielders. So I think a lot of Spurs fans are a little bit surprised that he hasn't tried something different.